Prophet's wife. He said, I think their religion better than our religion. He became murtad. He left Islam. No one can imagine that a Sahabi can become murtad. Right? This is how to be worried. So therefore, why the most dua Rasulullah used to repeat what? Ya muqallibal qulub thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Oh Allah, the one who turned the heart, keep my heart on your religion. Never judge people until you see how he or she died. So nobody knows. Right? In Egypt, there is a story about a girl. She pushed her mother on the wheelchair after she had a surgery. I said, Mom, you wait here. I'm going to pay to the cashier. So the daughter went to the cashier, and then the mother looked like she's in sakaratul maut. She's going to die. Alhamdulillah, 3 young Egyptians came, and they said, Ma'am, say, Ashhadu Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. She said, Shahada. She did. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu, and she died. When her daughter came back, he said, what happened with my mom? She said, Inna lillahi wa inna raji'un. But don't worry, alhamdulillah. She said the kalima. I said, what? Kafartumuha. She was Christian. The mother was Christian for 70 years. But Allah honored her with the husn al-khatimah. So nobody knows. So therefore, in this khutbah, would like to give you some tip, because we are living a lot of fitna now. How to be steadfast. Or in Arabic called thabat, until we die. Number 1, at-tadabbur bil-Quran. Try always to reflect when you read Quran. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Kitabun anzalnahu ilayka mubarakun. The book that I revealed to you, a blessed book, what for? Liyadabbaru ayatihi, in order to ponder. Not reading, because hypocrite in Medina used to read Quran. How to effect the Quran is by tadabbur. Right? Example, tadabbur. Tadabbur not tafsir. You try to ponder why, put question why. For example, every Friday you read what? Surah Al-Kahfi. Inna ashabal kafi wal-raqimi kanu min ayatina ajaba. Indeed, people of the cave. And they said, wal-raqim. Is ever that when you read Quran, you ask question, why Allah necessity to put the word raqim there? Why raqim? What's important of raqim? Raqim from the word raqama. In Arabic, when you write something on the paper called kataba, what was written called maktub. But if you write something on the rocks or the wood, they call raqoma. And the written there called raqim or marqum. So what happened, Ashabul Kafi, when they escaped, they entered the cave, before they sleep, they was discussing. He said, look, nobody knows about our story. What will be our legacy when we die for our youth? So they wrote their story on that rocks. So the next generation will read it. And until now, they are not scholars, but they have something behind. So when you ponder that, subhanallah, there's Ashabul Kahfi. They always think about the future. Right? So therefore now you ask question, what is my legacy? If I'm dying, what are you going to talk about me? What I left behind? What is my children? Right? Another example of ponder in the Quran, for example, number 10 in the Quran, Ashra. Tilka asharatun kamila. Allah repeated in the Quran about 20 times in 19 surah. Number 10. Right? Man jaa bil hasanati falahu ashru amthaliha. If you do good deed 1, Allah give you what? 10. Why 10? Not 9, not 15. What is 10? Right? Have you pondered that? And Allah swear with number 10. Wal fajri wa layalin ash. What do you do in the 10 of Dhul Hijjah? Qurbani, Udhiyah. In which surah? Surah Al-Kawthar. Right? فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْهَرْ. Slaughter. You know, Surah Kawthar contain how many letters, how many words, kalima? 10 kalima. Exactly. Right? And the word فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْهَرْ is 10 huruf, 10 letters. You know, when you read it, subhanAllah, wow, who wrote this book? Right? And someone was challenged, the Sheikh said, one of the atheists, said, okay, Quran is miracle, mu'jizah. Can you find in every surah of the Quran there's mu'jizah? So alhamdulillah, in the year of computer now, we can easy to find. You know, very interesting, the Sheikh found it. In every surah, word that you didn't find in another surah. In Surah Baqarah, for example, about 686 words that you never find in another surah. وَفُمِهَا وَأَدَوْسَ وَبَصَلِيَا. In Surah Al-Imran, more than 200 words, only in Surah Al-Imran. For you, easy. In Surah Al-Fatiha, there's a word you cannot find in another surah. وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. You alone we ask for help, only this. Look like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that when you ask, only ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surah Al-Ikhlas, there is 3 words you couldn't find in another surah. The word As-Samad, the eternal. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Allah talk about the birth of many prophets, but He never used yalid wa yulad, only in the Surah Al-Ikhlas. Look like only Allah is the one. Right? So try, this is the first way, because when you ponder the Quran, this can increase your iman, because this is beyond our imagination, beyond our mind can understand the book. That's number 1. Number 2 is reading Sirah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's very important, right? Because our expect for our children. Children need a hero, need somebody to look up to. And many of children didn't understand Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mingled with his wife, his community, how he's a leader, about the akhlaq of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Especially for our young children. You know, I have a story a long time ago, I think I mentioned, that in school, the teacher asked the student, what you would like to be when you are big? Somebody, I want to be engineer, to be doctor, to be president, to be pilot. A Muslim student said, I want to be Sahabi, a 2nd grade. Of course, the teacher didn't know what Sahabi mean. Said, Ahmad, come here. What Sahabi mean? Sahabi. What do you mean? Sahabi. You know, when they have problem, the teacher always call the parent. So alhamdulillah, the mother from Syria picked up the phone. I said, ma'am, what is Sahabi? Why you ask me Sahabi? She said, your son want to be Sahabi. I said, and she was very smart. He said, I cannot explain about Sahabi by phone. Can you visit us on Saturday? Alhamdulillah, the teacher went on Saturday, visited her. What's the first thing she did? She didn't talk about Sahabi. She cooked biryani. So when you invite non-Muslim, the first thing you do is what? Serve the food. Right? When the college invited me to talk about Islam 101, he said, invite me on the lunchtime, free lunch. People come. The student like it. Maybe their purpose to have lunch, but three or one of them become Muslim. So then, he said, before I talk about Sahabi, I need to talk about the city of Medina. Talk about Rasulullah SAW, then talk about Suhaib, about Bilal, maybe Salman. And the teacher said, oh, I wonder, they are great, great people. Why your son want to be like them? From that time, the teacher and the mother have a relationship for 9 months. They continue, and then she become Muslim. When Jum'ah magazine interview the mother, how your son proud to be Sahabi? You know, if you ask your son, no, what do you want to be? I want to be Ronaldo. That's one they know, Batman. Right? Oh, because when he was 5, 6 years old, I always relate to him the story of Rasulullah and Sahaba. Right? So, read Quran with tadabbur, the seerah, and then al-amalu bil-ilmi, to practice what you learn, right? To implement in your life is very important. Let people see Islam in your behavior. There is one American who became Muslim, and then he came to me and said, I would like to marry. I said, okay, but I like to marry with Indonesian girls. I said, why? Because I like Indonesian food. So I called my wife. My wife said she have a friend in Indonesia. So Alhamdulillah, the brother liked her, and he flew from Seattle to Jakarta. After marriage, they have honeymoon, spent for 1 month. So this American, Alhamdulillah, for 5 years he studied with me. So every day when he heard the adhan, Hayya ala salah, he was walking. Imagine an American, tall, white, wearing Indonesian kufi, wearing batik, walking to Indonesia, walking to the masjid. In order to get to the masjid, they have to pass the school, madrasah, and the market. Every day. So many Indonesians, they start, wait a minute, this American, how many surah he know, how many hadith he know, but every day. I am here, a teacher in school. When I hear adhan, I never respond to adhan. I never come to masjid. And people on the market also. Man, I'm selling, buying for 30 years, but I didn't care about adhan. They feel shy. And they stop. Some of them stop to close the market. The teacher come to masjid. The masjid full. Just one, they're practicing Islam. Right? And also will affect your children. Right? Look at in the Quran. Allah sent 2 of messenger, Musa and Khidir. What for? To protect the treasure of the orphans. Right? It said, وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. What the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect the children? Because their parent was a righteous parent. SubhanAllah. Ibn Kathir said, that even not direct parent, he said, his grandfather number 7. SubhanAllah, look at the effect when you are righteous. Right? Even Yusuf alayhi salam, when he was seduced by a woman, and he was alone, the woman so pretty, the woman is her master. Right? He said, وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا. When she wanted to do zina. And also Yusuf did want it. People said, oh, how come Yusuf? Allah put the word hamma, Yusuf too. Because maybe if Allah didn't put that, you will say, oh, maybe Yusuf didn't have desire. No, Yusuf had desire. لَوْلَا أَنْ رَأَى بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ. If Yusuf didn't see the proof of his Lord. Ibn Kathir said, what did he see? The proof. His father. The picture of the father. He said, Yusuf, how dare you do that? I am a prophet. Your grandfather is prophet. Your great-grandfather is prophet. Right? So the righteousness of the parent will benefit the children, also grandchildren. Right? So, number 4, a-rifqah saliyah, a-sohbah saliyah. Always in the company of good people. It's very important. You cannot be a good Muslim alone. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَكُنْ مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. Have taqwa and be with the good people. Right? The Arab said, Al-jar qabla ad-dar. When you move, don't look to the house, look at who's surrounded there, where do you live. Right? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, akthiru min al-ikhwani salihin. Make a lot of good friends. Because the benefit in this dunya, benefit in the akhirah. In one hadith, there's a man going to enter Jannah, and he stopped. And the angel said, go in. He said, I saw a lot of my friends in the hellfire. And he said, go back and pick 70 of them. So one of the sheikh, he always gave lecture, said, if you don't see me in Jannah, please find me in the hellfire. Right? أقول قولي هذا واغفر لي ولكم ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. الحمد لله حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه. So that's some tips how to be always istiqamah, upright. Read Quran with tadabbur. Read Sirah Muhammad sallallahu. Be always with the good company. And the last one, don't forget the power of dua. Ya muqallibal qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. You know, last November I was in Uzbekistan. And very interesting, you know, Uzbekistan was under Soviet Union, under communist regime for 70 years. But Islam now, about 96% is Muslim. You find madrasa, in Islamic university, people reading Hafid, also Muhaddith, everywhere. So I met with the Imam, how you were able to preserve this deen for 70 years. He said, because our parent and grandparent was scared. And one old Imam told me, he said, I remember my grandfather used to bring me to the cave, to the mountain, to learn Quran. And also at home, when they read Quran, have to put the food. So when the communist soldier came and said, oh, he was eating. He said also the people have big house, they have to have school, madrasa, but they have to be secret. You know, in order to get to the madrasa, they have a hallway, and they put picture of woman. So when soldier came, Muslim cannot be here, right? And because of their effort and their care, Islam still strong now. And also I went to Samarkand, visiting the grave of Imam Bukhari. Remember, Imam Bukhari was born, when he was born, he was blind. But his mother never lost hope. For 5 years, she always make dua, Ya Basir, Ya Basir. They call Allah Ya Basir. After 5 years, one night, she had a dream with Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. I said, ma'am, wake up. Your son can see now. She woke up, her son was there. She said, Mommy, it's you. I said, yeah. I said, son, I made another. Look at very important. I make an oath. If you, Allah gave you sight, you have to be hafid. So every morning, his mother used to bring her to the masjid to learn Quran. In 2 years, Imam Bukhari became hafid. I said, Mom, I did it. Okay, now you have to study the hadith. Subhanallah. When he was 15, he memorized 100,000 of the hadith. He said, son, like we made celebration. Where? Disneyland? No. They go to Hajj. They went for Hajj. After Hajj, he said, son, don't go home. Stay in Makkah. Study with all in Makkah. And when you finish, don't go home. You go to Medina. When you finish Medina, don't go home. You go Baghdad. You go Yemen. So Imam Bukhari spent for 20 years study hadith. And then he returned. And then he wrote the book. But the book called Sahih Bukhari. Every time the Sheikh, you and me, open the book of Bukhari, Imam Bukhari will get the reward. But who will get the reward most? His mother. Subhanallah. اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون احسنه اللهم احينا على الاسلام والسنه وتوفنا على الايمان والتوبه اللهم اجعل خير عمرنا اخره وخير عملنا خواتمه وخير ايامنا يوم نلقاك في انك على كل شيء قدير اللهم بارك لنا في اولادنا ووفقهم الى طاعتك وارزقنا برهم اللهم اجعلنا من التوابين اللهم اجعلنا من الصالحين اللهم اجعلنا من الصديقين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع الدعوات يا مجيب الحاجات عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا أذكركم وأقيموا الصلاة
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله